as you monitor the hearings, both at the Senate and the lower house, Attorney, whether, and you can answer whether on your own capacity or on behalf of the IBP, what are the loopholes that you're seeing? I'll give you one example. For instance, because of all of this exposés, we're finding out that there is no law or rule that prohibits PCAB officers, whether executive directors or board members, from divesting in their own construction companies before they take position. And that's a pretty, these positions are pretty influential because they're the ones that accredit the contractors, right? But that's just from my perspective. What are you guys seeing? Where are the gaps?
Okay, if we are looking at, so I'm speaking in my capacity as someone who has worked in the area specifically of government procurement. So I have assisted both on the government side, and I've also assisted on the bidder side when it comes to our procurement in government. So even before we get to the point of licensing of the contractors, there are several areas that we should look at within the procurement process. So number one, in relation to pork barrel, which is what we are seeing today, as you know, our Supreme Court has already declared as unconstitutional insertion of pork barrel, no, in our General Appropriations law. However, as some of our experts have pointed out, there's a gap there that has been exploited. So instead of looking at post GAA approval, insertions are now being made into the budget of the agencies rather than the budget of the legislators. So that's a gap that has to be plugged. When it comes to our procurement procedure, there has been an effort very recently to, one, promote transparency, and number two, also increase monitoring of procurement procedures or bidding. This is through the passage of what we now have or call the new Government Procurement Act. So we actually have a new procurement law, and there are two, I would say, two mechanisms there to enhance transparency and monitoring that, again, a number of our experts are saying we should mobilize. One is filming the bidding for a certain amount of contract. No? So there has to be a video recording of the procedure itself. And number two, it also encourages, it was in our old law, but now it places emphasis on making sure that there are observers that are invited to these biddings, no? Including from non-government organizations. So in order to observe and monitor the conduct of bidding. But what is also interesting is that we need to see some coordination in our government agencies that are tasked with making sure that these anomalies are avoided. So I'm very happy to hear the report that the Commission on Audit has provided, the report that will now be the basis for the Office of the Ombudsman to undertake its investigation and possibly file a complaint. So that's an example of a coordination that we should see between the Commission on Audit and the Office of the Ombudsman, because our Commission on Audit, while it is an important, it's an independent constitutional commission, it's a very important part of the framework for accountability under the Constitution. It doesn't have prosecutorial powers. It may only approve or disallow contracts and expenses or expenditures by government. But really looking into investigating, finding the complaint and prosecuting would fall within the jurisdiction of the Office of the Ombudsman.
Yeah, absolutely right. The prosecutorial powers are going to be key here, because if no one answers for all of this, then where does that leave us, right? But we'll leave the conversation there for now. We'll have you back another time. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Attorney Gwen De Vera.
Thank you.
Of IBP.
Pleasure to be on the show. Thank you.
And the Dean of the UP College of Law. Congratulations, by the way, on the new post.